Hey guys, so today I'm making y'all a dish that was a staple growing up as a kid in my great-grandma's household, and that is beef guiso, or carne guisada, as you might hear it be called. About this dish, growing up it was my favorite dish that she would make. She'd make it with rice and beans and homemade tortillas, and to this day it's probably still my favorite dish. The meat we're going to be using is a beef chuck roast, about 2.5 pounds of chuck roast. What we're going to do is I'm going to trim up the fat on it, and then I'm going to dice it up into bite-sized cubes. One other thing I wanted to mention is if you go to a restaurant, and this is just what I've seemed to have found in my local town, is if you go in and you order the beef guiso, the meat is kind of more like a roast. It's real tender. It's kind of fall apart. Growing up, it was more firm. It wasn't as fall apart tender. And that's actually the way that I prefer it, so that's how I'm gonna make it today. I'm gonna get this chuck roast trimmed up, and then I'm gonna get it cut up into cubes. This is my grandma's exact recipe. She was a kind that she didn't write any recipes down. She just kind of had it all up here, and she would, eyeball most of her stuff. And so this isn't her exact recipe, but I'm just gonna make it to what I think, is as similar to her. Alright guys, so now that I got this meat all clean and trimmed up with the fat, I got most of the fat off. Now I'm pretty much just cubing this up into about 1 inch, half-inch cubes here. Trying to get them as uniform as possible, just so that they all cook at the same rate pretty much. So now that I got my meat here diced up the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. A little bit of seasoning to get it going. I have a little bit of oil, got a hot pan. I'm going to go ahead and put this meat in and get it seared off. And that is one thing you want to make sure of. Just make sure you don't crowd the pan, as you can see here. It's all got plenty of space to sear off. You really don't want any pieces laying on top of each other. So now that we got our meat all seared up and ready to go, I'm going to start on the sauce here that I'm going to be making. 2 Roma tomato, half an onion, some garlic, and then these guajillo peppers. Put this in a blender along with some seasonings, and yeah, so we're ready to throw these things into our blender here. 2 Roma tomato. I would do probably a little bit of half an onion, just depending. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of garlic. And I'm also gonna toss in about a teaspoon of comino. We're gonna go in with our hydrated peppers. This I'm gonna do about half a cup of beef broth. Half a cup of water. Alrighty guys, so here's our nice red sauce here. I am going to strain this into our meat here just because those peppers don't grind down all the way. You don't want those in your meat, so I'm going to strain this into our meat here. My favorite pieces that I own is actually my great grandma's tortilla comal that she used to make her tortillas. And I mean, there's no telling just how many tortillas that she made on this thing to make, you know, probably at least a dozen tortillas every day just for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, for us and for our grandpa. And so it's super awesome. I get to keep this thing and I still get to use it. Hopefully it lasts forever, but it's one of my favorite pieces that I own. So our beef guiso here is done. As you can see that those guajillos that I put in here kind of give it that deeper red color. But it smells great, looks great. I'm gonna get this plated with some beans and some rice and then put it down with some tortillas. So there you have it, guys, some beef guiso the way I like it with some fresh tortillas. Let me know what you think. Let me know if your family likes to make this and there's anything different that you do. I'd like to hear about it. I know some people prefer pork guiso as well, but like I said, this is just how my grandma used to make it. Some beef guiso with some rice and beans and some homemade tortillas. So now we're gonna eat. Really good. It's really good. I think my grandma would approve. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.